Across the vast array of mammalian species, there are intriguing courtship behaviors observed across various species, each uniquely adapted to their ecological niches. From the quirky to the downright bizarre, these are our top picks for the 10 most unusual mammal mating rituals. We'll start from just weird and slowly move down to the ones that keep us awake at night. Here is a list of 10 animals with the weirdest mating rituals. 1. Fossa. The Fossa mating system is anything but conventional. Although they do not have a specific mating season, Fossas practice polygamy, so during the mating week, the female Fossa can mate with multiple males and vice versa. Whenever mating occurs, it occurs on a tree. The rose in the garden, the female Fossa, stays up on a tree and makes some sounds to attract other men. Once they gather, the conglomerate of aspiring male mates has a brawl at the base of the tree. The battle goes on and on until there's only one male Fossa standing. The dominant male then climbs up the tree to meet his mate. Once they begin, they might continue for hours, but nothing stops them until the very end, making loud noises to express their sheer pleasure, just like in this case. It's bad enough to have to mate in a tree, but then to have a million bugs harass you the whole while. 2. Cheetah. Did you know that female cheetahs attract their mates with their urine when they enter estrus? They urinate on purpose to attract male cheetahs, yet when they come, the female cheetahs still play hard to get. Cheetahs have a flexible breeding season. They can mate at any time throughout the year. However, when they do, they tend to get violent. If her urine attracts more than one male cheetah, they'll take turns attacking her, just like you can see here. Eventually, she makes her choice, usually the strongest male among her prospective suitors. The mating doesn't take long, although they often have multiple copulations in the mating period. Female cheetahs can also store male sperm until environmental conditions are suitable for conception. Unfortunately, the females are left alone to raise their kids. Now we know why most cheetahs have daddy issues. 3. Hyena. The most exciting fact about mating for hyenas is that the females got the balls. They wear the pants in the family because they are bigger, stronger, and far more aggressive than their male counterparts. If the male hyena is not strong enough to take the heat of what's coming, they get injured, or sometimes even die in the process of mounting the pseudopenis of the female hyena. This pseudopenis, which is actually just an enlarged clitoris, has a superpower. It can be erected at will. So the meeker males only need to insert this penis into their mate's pseudopenis. Where the real work lies is the females having to birth their young through a penis. It's totally outrageous. 4. Leopard. On a scale of active to inactive, leopards are super duper active sexually. We're talking about mating as often as every 15 minutes in a 7-day stretch, sometimes up to 250 times in 1 week. Oh, and might we add that they aren't necessarily sexually loyal. So it's more like one female leopard to as many male leopards as possible. A few times it could get violent. A good example is the excruciating pain that the female feels when the male penis is retracted. She might react by lashing out, leading to a few injuries, but generally leopards find sex pleasurable. 5. Black Rhino. The mating process is pretty straightforward for black rhinos since the females lead. Once her eyes catch a male she fancies, she lets out an alluring whistle and tails him, until she eventually realizes that love is in the air. The males are a bit slow, so sometimes it takes them days of being closely tailed around to realize. When it finally clicks, they butt their heads together violently for hours. This next stage is called the bluff and bluster ritual. They quite literally thrash around and horn joust for hours. After unanimously deciding that they have messed around for too long, they get down and get dirty. They finally mate. 6. Zebra. Zebras only mate between August and September. When they do, they mean business. They can go on mating hour after hour for up to 2 and sometimes 3 days to get those eggs fertilized. Anything for the eggs. And when a male zebra tells a female, "I'll do anything to have you," they mean anything, from sounds to posturing, or if needed, physical combat. When they eventually win the female zebra over, she arches her back, lifts her chubby behind, and swings her tail to the side to let him in. Once the male sees this, he quickly makes his move. While they are at it, their facial expressions also say a lot. If the female is having a good time, she'll flatten their ears and open her mouth slightly. On the other hand, male zebras show their teeth during mating to terrify or communicate pleasure. This next mating ritual will gross you out. 7. Hippo. Hippos mate only once in 2 whole years, but when they do, the entire ritual is very messy. And because they don't mate often, they need a signal to tell when the time's right. How? The males sniff the females' behinds and smell their urine. At the peak of the mating season, the males urinate and defecate simultaneously. But that's not even half as disgusting as their pairing process. The way the male marks his mate and gets her attention is by smearing that pee and urine all over her body with his tail. How disgusting is that? But where does the mating really happen? In water. They make babies in water. The male hippos forcibly submerge the female in water for the most part of the process. She holds her breath and raises her head at particular intervals to breathe. 8. Porcupine. Just when we thought we'd seen it all with the hippos, mating is far more bizarre for porcupines. First off, the male displays his interest by spraying a heavy stream of urine onto his potential mate. If she is not impressed, she will scream and shake it off. But if she's ready to go down, she'll feed his eyes with a good view of her quillless underbelly, saying, "I'm your baby, take me away." Secondly, the females only entertain the thought of sex for only 8 to 12 hours in an entire year. But then, the thought of being soaked in a stranger's urine from head to toe only makes matters worse. Thirdly, it gets really wild. Female porcupines are almost insatiable. They force their mates to do many rounds until they are totally spent and move on to the next available mate. So the next time you see a porcupine peeing on another porcupine, brace yourself for an intimate but somewhat disgusting moment. 9. Lions. Lions don't mate for longer than a minute. However, the mating process, especially the dismounting, is usually excruciating for the lioness. This is why they may attack them many times while it is happening. Now, if you think your love life is terrible, know it can get worse. Much, much worse. Seriously, these animals need professional help because this is downright psychopathic. Did you know that a male lion can make up to 100 times in a day? But then again, king of the jungle for a reason, right? 10. Warthog. Among male warthogs, the struggle is real. The males have a heated wrestling match when a female is in her estrus. The winner gets the girl. This mating ritual is very comical. When the male realizes that a baby girl is in the heat, he follows her around quite literally. He circles her over and over, making loud clicking sounds. It's more like, "Ready when you are, baby." And if she still doesn't get it, he gets feisty, giving her soft bites until she eventually succumbs. That's very funny if you ask me. Which of these mating rituals did you find to be stunningly unusual? Let us know in the comments. Hit the like and subscribe buttons for more fun info like this one.